If you're a creative person like me and all you really want to do is make your art, follow your passions and do your creative projects, I'm sure you probably have a day job like me. You know, you have a 9 to 5, you work in 40 hours a week or part time maybe. And at the end of the day, that job doesn't fulfill you. It's not really what you want to do with your time. It's not what ignites your soul. That is making art, that is making your creations. So how you give yourself more time in the future to actually do the things that you want to do is to put the free time that you have now into those creative projects. You know, at the end of the day, when you're really tired from work and all you want to do is just sit down and just watch YouTube for 3 hours on Netflix and just kind of turn into a vegetable, it's that time that matters the most. Because if you do that every day and every work day for the rest of your life, you're never going to get anywhere else. You know, you're never going to be able to do anything else with your time. So ultimately, you don't actually have days off. You obviously, everyone needs to rest, you know, like if you come in for a 12-hour shift, you can't just expect yourself to go straight to working again. You know, that's not feasible. But if you do a little bit every day, a little bit towards the life that you want to actually live, those hours, those minutes really matter and they add up. Even if it takes 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, those little steps towards the life that you actually want to live and the goals that you've created for yourself, everything matters. Every little step matters. You cannot just sit and just be a slave to your bad habits and your screen time and just the things that you know aren't getting you anywhere. You can't do it. You don't have time. So the way to get out of work is to actually do more of it. Figure out what are the best things that you can be doing to get you where you need to be and where you want to be. You know, is that creating content? Is that spending more time trying to find clients? Is that more time actually owning the skills that you need to get good at what you want to be good at and then sell that thing, you know, so you can get out of working? Because at the end of the day, no one really wants to go to a day job, you know. We all wish we could have our free time back and just have all our time to ourselves. But ultimately, I wouldn't be sat here in my flat. I wouldn't have this roof over my head if I didn't go to work. And I actually love my job, I'll be honest. Like, the hours are tough, but the people I work with are all really cool. Like, I like spending time with them. I like complaining to them. You know, it's fun. And the most people I speak to at work, like the customers, are really nice. The benefits of the company I work for are amazing. Like, it's a brilliant job. Like, I'm very, very grateful to have it. But ultimately, I am a creative. I want to make things. I don't want to sell things or speak to customers. It's just not what I want to do. So how I actually get there is when I have days off and I have time apart from that job that pays the bills. It's those hours that really matter. You know, if I don't invest in myself on my days off like I'm doing today, like, I don't want to be sat here making this video right now. I want to be watching football. I want to be playing my PS5. I want to be chilling. But ultimately, I can't do that. I do that a lot. I won't lie. I'm not one of those like crazy productivity guys that never rest, because that's just not realistic. But setting aside a few hours on your day off every week for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks upon weeks become years, you know, those investments of time really add up and they will get you to be where you want to be. We all need money, but your day job can only take you so far. You know, trading your time for an hourly rate you're limiting yourself, especially when you're not actually doing the thing that you want to be doing. You're not actually trading that time for creative projects. Okay, so I'm having to re-record this because the first time my microphone died halfway through the video, which is just great. But my next point would be, don't just pay the bills. So we all need money, but at the end of the day, there's more to life than just earning money. Like, if you are literally just going to work just to get a roof over your head and get food on the table, you're not going to live a fulfilling life, you know what I mean? You're not going to come home at the end of the day and be proud of how you've spent that day and how you've spent that time. And it's not easy getting up and going to work. Like, when my alarm goes off at 6 and I have to drag myself out of bed and go out in the cold and get on the train, and it's so difficult in the morning to get yourself up. So if you're going to do that, then you need to be working towards something that you actually enjoy, you know, that's actually going to bring you fulfillment. So trading your time for an hourly rate, it can only get you so far, because unless you've got some crazy like corporate or tech job, then most likely that hourly rate that you're receiving, it's not going to be enough for the work that you're putting in. You know, it doesn't count in the travel. It doesn't count in all the extra things you do at work. That hourly rate is not sufficient. And especially as a creative person as well, like, do you think someone that's a top music producer or a top graphic designer or a top artist is going to charge their clients per hour for their work? No, they charge per project because their work is so valuable that you can't put an hourly price on it. And at the end of the day, if you get work done faster than someone else, because you're better at it, you've spent more time on it, your skills are more sharp at that thing, they're going to get paid the same as you. It's not about how quickly you do it. Whether you do it quickly or slowly, you're still getting paid the same hourly rate. So at the end of the day, you are limiting yourself and your income and your potential as a creative person just by putting a price on your hours, especially when time is so precious as well. You know what I mean? Time is literally the most important currency. So if you're spending your time 40 hours a week, every week upon week, working towards someone else's dream and earning money for someone else that in a way that doesn't fulfill you and doesn't warm your heart, then that is not a good life, and that is not how I want to spend my life at all. So even if you do have a good job, just remember, ultimately it's not what you want to do, so don't get too comfortable. You know, make sure you're still setting yourself goals, make sure you're still working towards your own thing and working on your own creations outside of work. Because even though it's tiring and even though you are going to be exhausted on your days off and when you're getting from work, if you don't put in those hours, no one else will. And you're going to be stuck in that job or similar jobs until you retire. So I am 25. The retirement age in the UK is 67. I'm not doing this for another 42 years. No way, no chance. Like, that is just not happening, you know. I'm going to work towards getting out of this rat race as soon as possible, because this is not how I want to live my life. I was not born to go and speak to customers on the phone. Even though I like the job, it's not what I was made for. So the only way to get out of that is to work hard outside of work and make sure I actually spend my days off doing something positive and doing something that's going to actually keep me moving forward rather than just sitting around. So finally, even if it takes 10 years, slow progress is better than no progress. You know what I mean? There's people way busier than you with way more responsibilities that have massive families and more demanding jobs that are still coming home and working on their own business because they're driven people. They're motivated, you know what I mean? They know that there is a better life out there waiting for them and they have to go and work towards that. Like, I'm not rich myself. I don't have a crazy business, you know. My journey is pretty much only just starting myself. But I'm in the mindset of, if I do not put these hours in now, the same way that I'm talking to this camera to upload to my YouTube channel, this is not exactly what I want to do, you know what I mean? It's 8 p.m. here now. Like, I start work at 8:30 in the morning. I kind of just want to chill and watch TV. But if I don't put in these hours in, no one else will. So you just have to do it. If you can spend 40 hours a week working for someone else towards their dream, why can't you spend an hour a day working towards yours? Why can't you dedicate 3 or 4 hours on a weekend towards your dream? You know, wake up at 9, 10 a.m., work for 4 hours. You've still got the whole rest of the day to do what you want to do, to still chill. You know what I mean? Like, there's people always say, oh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to learn the guitar. I don't have time to build a business. I don't have time to start these hobbies. But you do have time. It's just how you actually choose to spend that time. You know, when I was in university studying music production, I literally forced myself to stop playing my Xbox so I'd actually put time into working on my craft, into the skills that I would need to actually get good at making music. I literally stopped myself being a gamer for years just so I could actually like focus on what I wanted to do. And I don't regret that sacrifice at all. You know, I still play games now and again, but ultimately, unless you want to do it as a career, in which case, fair enough, playing video games isn't going to get you to where you want to be. So if you take one thing away from this video, just remember that what you do now will dictate where you are going to be in the next 10 years. You know, do you really want to spend your days off just lounging around doing nothing? Or do you want to build something? You know, do you believe that there's a better life outside of where you are now? There's a better life out there just waiting for you. And it is on the other side of all that work you are avoiding. I'm speaking to myself here as well because I procrastinate all the time. I put off the work I need to do, you know. I do waste my time a lot. And I'm nowhere near perfect, so I don't think that I'm claiming to be some expert here. But I'm starting to get in the mindset of, if I just rest on my days off, I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to build the life that I want for myself. So again, if you take one thing away from this video, just consider the next time you've got a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon free. If you do have a hobby or a creative outlet that you love and you know you'd rather be doing that than getting up and going to work, figure out what are the steps that you can do to build up that thing. You know, do you need to build a portfolio? Do you need to focus on social media? Do you need to take some tutorials and take some courses about getting better at that thing so you can sell that as a service? You know, what do you actually need to be doing to be working towards the life that you want? So if you think you've learned something from this video, please subscribe, please like the video. If you know anyone else that benefit from it, send it over to them. You know, I've got 8 subscribers at the moment, so, you know, we've got to start somewhere. But I appreciate your time anyway if you have watched till the end. Bye-bye now.